Poppin' people, it's your boy Undemic back here with another video, tips and tricks to help you guys out in Call of Duty Blackout, especially with the new map updates. So I've actually been holding on to these clips for probably 3 weeks. I just have not had time to edit them, but I finally had time today, so I am gonna actually break this up in probably 3 or 4 parts because there's kind of a lot, so I don't want to bombard anybody here, but we're going to try to keep these videos to under 10 minutes if possible, so it's a little bit more palatable. I understand, 30-minute videos are ridiculous, and nobody really has time for that. So at any rate, what I want to do is kind of talk about the best way to play using the map to your advantage so you can win or get more kills, whatever it is you're trying to go for. A lot of times you guys are probably aware that people will use the map and you'll get outplayed, or maybe you're the one outplaying people. So what we want to do here is the concept really is the path least taken is the best path to take, right? Because it's the least expected path that any of your enemies are gonna think that you're gonna use. So basically that means don't use the normal way to travel. If you're gonna go up the stairs, go through a door, try to find a window outside, maybe that they won't expect you to roll through, and you can get the drop on them. So I'm gonna go through a couple parts of the map. The map is obviously really huge. So we're gonna kick it off and probably start in construction and go from there. All right, so here we go. All right, so kicking it off at construction site, there is, at the almost very top, you can actually wingsuit off the edge right here and kind of get to the other side if you're trying to attack somebody. Usually people will go down this little ramp right here, and I mean, it's the clearest site. If people are always going to expect you to kind of, there's always gunfights happening there. Let's just say that, right? So wingsuit off, you'll be good. Going downstairs to the top of the garage, you can actually jump over this little wall right here. If you just use the porta potties on the other side. So if you're trying to get a drop on somebody on the other side, you can do that. You can also do the reverse. There's actually some pallets on the inside there that you can jump over and get to the other side of that wall. Now the third way to get into this room is actually on the ground by the elevator side. So there's actually a ladder on the elevator, I guess, lift. If you climb that about halfway up, what you can actually do is jump off and get to the right, and you'll end up in that room. So whatever reason, if they have a barricade up or you're just trying to get in that room for some reason, you can outplay them by going that way. Moving right along downstairs, kind of on the left side of construction site, you can actually get to the second level using this little, I guess, contractor's trailer or whatever, by using these rebar beams. If you just stand on it, if you position yourself right, and if you do a little running start, you can actually get to that second level. Most people won't expect you to do that. I don't even think I've ever seen anybody like outplay me that way. But at any rate, moving to the front of the building, you can use the little sign for whatever this hotel or building is going to be. You can actually, what is that, a hotel? I didn't even look at the sign. At any rate, you can use the sign to kind of get up on the second level here if you want to outplay someone a different way or from a different direction. That's also an option. And then to the right side of the construction site map, this is probably a little bit more obvious. There are these little tents on the right side that you can use to get up on the second level as well. You probably already knew that. Maybe you didn't. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's useful for you. At any rate, all right, we're gonna go back to the left side of the map to the parking garage, because I feel like this is less known. I've never actually seen anybody go up this way, but usually when I get in gunfights, it's me against someone who's trying to maybe come up those ramps all the way to whatever level they're trying to get to. But you can on the front side, you can actually jump up and use this little scaffolding to get to the very top or any of those other levels. Now on the back side facing the sea, there's sort of building materials and pallets you can also use to jump up there. Now you can use this to jump up to the second subterranean level. If you want to go to the very top, you can jump on the rebar right there. As you can see, I missed, but you can jump up on that rebar and get to the very top as well, and more likely than not, people aren't going to expect you to come up that way. So that's a little tip for you there if you're dropping the construction site. Okay, switching gears a little bit, heading north to the little strip mall gas station area, kind of north of construction site. This area is kind of common. You'll see a lot of gas stations around town or around the map. They're all pretty much similar, so you can use, look for anything that's around the building that can maybe elevate you a little bit, and use it to get up on the roof if you want to get that high ground. As we always, as everyone always says, high ground is better. So you can use, some of the items around each building might seem like they're there for no reason, but you can actually use them to your advantage. So for example, across the street here, what I did was I used the trash can to get up on this fence, and you can actually get up onto this roof right here. And this is really helpful, like if someone has like mesh mined or like barricaded the ladder area. Obviously, the ladder is going to be, any building that has a ladder is going to be, you know, the most expected form to travel up that building, right? Like if you have a ladder right there, people are just going to expect you to take that, you know, normally, because that's probably the way they took. But if you are next to a building, you can actually use each building to jump up onto the one adjacent to it. So as you can see right here, I'm using that roof of the building to get up into that second level of the building next door to it, which is kind of like one of those skinny brick buildings that you'll see all around town. Additionally, if you're trying to get into that second level and for whatever reason you can't use the door, maybe they got it mesh mined, maybe they're camping, whatever, you can actually use this little lamp right here. Of course, you can't see it from this angle, but there's a little lamp, that little black lamp that I'm standing on right there, and you can sort of ease your way into the second level right there. All right, so moving east to these housing buildings, which, you know, they're pretty common architecture. You'll see them in a few spots around the map. There is actually an easy way to get into the second level here. You know, again, you can use things that are around the map, like that little flower bed. Here, I sort of use the door to get up onto the third level. But if you actually go left, a little bit left of those doors, there is actually a little ledge you can use. It's a lot easier. You won't make any noise opening the door, which will allow you to jump up onto that roof. Additionally, there's two kinds of houses. This house has a little awning with one door on top of that awning. And what you can do is jump up on the ledge here. And if you can just hop up onto that awning, you can actually jump up into the second stairwell. Of course, I missed it. You gotta kind of have to time your turn and your jump at the same time. But as you can see, it'll get you in that second level. So if they've got, you know, if some campers got the doors barricaded, that's an option for you to go through. So doors are super useful. If you actually open them up, you can usually use them as like a little ledge to hop in. You can see right there, I used it to get into the second level. You might be able to catch somebody sleeping if they're guarding the door the other way. But yeah, that is definitely an option. On to estates. So this is actually the little estates on top of the hill east of the larger one. If you need to get up on the roof, but you don't want to go through the house, through the stairs, you can actually use this little, these walls, I guess. You can use it to jump up and boom, you're on the roof just as so. And I've actually used this a couple times to outplay a couple people in quads. Fairly effective. If you're wondering about how to get to the roof, you can actually use this, the front end, to hop up on that wall, that little support beam, and you'll be on the roof. And that's just an effective way if you want to get high ground real quick, or you're trying to, like, you know, figure out where someone is in the building, or trying to draw them out or whatever. All right, next up, we're going to look at these big brick buildings, which are kind of sprawled out randomly throughout the map. As you can see, this particular building has a dumpster on the side of it, which you can actually use to get up on as a sort of a step stool to get up into the second level. That is definitely going to be a least expected path to travel, which you can use to your advantage when trying to get into these brick buildings here. All right, up next, we are going to talk about the office buildings right by Hydro Dam. There is, I think, one or two ways I've explored to get into these buildings, and they have to do, again, with the awnings that are covering the doors. So as you can see, this side of the building has that little awning, and it's sort of, it looks like it might be impossible, but you can actually use the trash can to jump up onto this awning. As you can see, I was trying to like test the other side, but it wasn't working. So I used the trash can, got up on that little awning, and if you time it just right, you can actually jump up into that second story window. Most people are going to be guarding the stairs that go up, go up to the second level. They're not really going to be worried about someone coming through the window unless obviously they have grapples. But I mean, that's the least. This is going to be the least path traveled, obviously. And you can actually do this on both buildings. Both buildings have sort of trash cans right near the doors or the awnings that are covering the doors, and you can use it to get into the building, multitude of ways. I was failing here a little bit because I was trying to like practice it, but it is possible. I was successful in getting into it. You can't stick close to the wall. You actually have to kind of be off the wall a little bit, and you have to sort of like turn and pull yourself up as you're jumping. So just practice that in a custom game. You should be fine. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you for watching Map Strats Part 1. I am going to start working on Map Strats Part 2 here and hopefully get that out in a couple days. But if you saw something that you didn't know you could do before on the map, I'd appreciate if you drop a like. If you use something in-game that helped you that you saw here, let me know in the comments. I'm kind of interested how, what movement or what what map strategy you were able to use that helped you out. Until then, I hope you guys live well, prosper. Hit a subscribe on this channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. I got one. Knock.